Um, somehow the time got away from me, but we're here and we're doing it. So hopefully you're here too. Okay, let's see. What are we doing today? We are going to work for 20 minutes and then we'll chat for 5 minutes in between. Hopefully you've got stuff that you're working on. I'm plugging away. I feel scattered, but what else is new? Okay, that'll be good there. Let's see. What do we want to smell tonight? I actually feel like I'm gonna break out the big candle. As long as I can find, yeah, my big matches. Okay, this thing has enough juice in it, which is great. How do I want to start the session over. Is this the easiest way to do it? Great. Okay, it'll be 20 minutes of work and then 5 minutes of chatty breaks. Thanks for joining. We can set, if anybody has any color that they'd like to look at. We've got some kind of boring orange right now. We can go pink. Hello. We can go, I don't really want to do green, but we can go green. I don't know, is blue fun? I always like pink. Let's go pink. It'll be fun. My keyboard doesn't match at all, but it looks nice and glowy, you know? All right, let's get this candle lit. Let's get cracking on work. I don't want to do work. I want to be very, very honest about that. I feel like sometimes my stuff seems aspirational, and I'd prefer it be kind of more inspirational for everyone who feels lazy and like they can't get stuff done. You can get stuff done, because if I can do it, I firmly believe anyone can do it. I am such a procrastinator, and it's kind of a nightmare. But when you have things that you have to work on, you just got to tackle it. One bite at a time. Having a ton to do can feel really, really overwhelming, which is why it's important to just set yourself a timer. I love a timer. I can't stop talking about how much I love timers. I talk about it in my work all the time, especially because it's such a nice thing for your brain to know, like, oh, I only have this much time left. And when people are speaking, it's a really great way to be like, hey, you only have 3 minutes to actually share all of your thoughts before I am going to cut you off. And I don't even have to cut you off. The timer's going to cut you off for me. Good luck with your homework. Good luck with whatever you're working on. If you're working on stuff and you're here. Oh, you wanted blue and I went with pink. All right, we'll go with blue. Do I have a blue? Do I have a blue that I like? There we go. We'll go with that. Okay. We're going to get started. I'll talk to you in 20 minutes, and I hope everybody has a great time doing their work. If you have any things that you want to chat about on the breaks, be sure to leave it in the comments, and we'll go over those things. It'll be great. Okay. Good luck, and I'll talk to you soon. All right. We're going to... Okay, remind me. We'll do purple after the next break. That'll be a fun way to denote that we're moving through time and space. Okay, great. Whee! The long finger loading. Okay. Oh God, I wish I was smoking right now. Okay. We're doing great. Ah! Do not delete that area. What a fucking nightmare that would be. Okay, let's see. I'm in your area. I lick your area. Sorry for bursting into death grips. I don't know how much you can actually pick up on that microphone, so maybe I don't need to be sorry. Maybe nobody's hearing me talk to myself right now. Doing great, by the way. Having an incredible day. I had to go to the dentist. My dentist is so nice to me because they're so proud of me for coming back to the dentist after taking 10 years away from the dentist. It's fine, we fixed it. Nobody needs to worry about it anymore. I lick your area. I lick your area. I lick your area. I mean, we're not going to make any decisions, so I probably don't need these. These used to match, believe it or not. It was so much nicer when they matched. Why did they do this to me? That's also not it though. Can I like... God, it just does not make a difference. That's so funny. Why am I directly editing this? Don't make this mistake. Make a copy. Oh my gosh, we made it to break. Congratulations, everyone. You got 5 minutes. Go wild. Yeah, well, I was kind of expecting to be heard, I guess. Let's see. What purple do I have? We'll go with that. All right, theme's been changed. It is 8:26 p.m. Eastern, so the US has got 4 time zones. So it's what is it? 5 on the Pacific? Oh, yeah. Living on the West Coast was very strange because every day I was like, this isn't the real time though. Like I would wake up and be like, what do you mean Twitter is full? Like I always had so many things to read in the morning because the East Coast had been alive for 3 hours already. Okay, whatever. You can just not be here anymore, actually. And yeah, it's very like it's very interesting to live on the East Coast because I just thought of it as like real time. But like I I don't know, moving back, it's, but I lived in Ireland for a lot of my life, so um, Greenwich Mean Time is also like very real to me. So I always kind of know what time it is in Europe generally, because I used to have to do that calculation all the time, and I used to work a lot with Australians, so sometimes I know what time it is in Australia. And if you get into K-pop for even a single fucking second, you'll know what time it is in Korea. Because when it's midnight over here, it's 1 p.m. over there. So I'm always able to do that pretty quickly. So, time zones, funky and fun. I have to feed my cat soon, which is easy to forget when I'm doing this, but I hope everybody's having fun working on stuff. I am currently designing a workshop for a client that asked me to do a workshop on the 17th, and I haven't designed it, and it's a 90-minute workshop, and it's for a group of coaches who have way more accreditations than me, because I have no accreditations, because I haven't gotten them yet. Weem is so funny because she doesn't care about food. She doesn't care about food at all. She's never been food motivated. But I think she's sick of her food right now because she's been eating pork for a while. And she can eat all sorts of things, and she hasn't gotten a chance to because we were going on diets that involved another cat who we no longer have to account for. So, not going to cry about it, just going to move through it. Okay. Oh, nice. Way to foster. That's excellent. Weem is way too territorial for me to foster. She gets very freaked out about everything. Hello, good evening. Weem says hi back. Do you want to say hi? Hopefully everybody heard that. There we go. She's good at meowing on command. She's actually not. She is not trainable. Weem doesn't even let me pick her up. She squirms away. But that's okay. She went through a lot as a kid. Oh God. Okay, I made myself sad about boo boo. Okay, we just have to move on. I can't cry in the middle of a working session. Oh God. So I talked about their hands today. I'm going to talk more about their hands. It is funny to me whenever I post anything and get comments that I'm like, I don't know how to respond to this nicely, but I want you to know I do know that, and I did consider that, and I don't count it. But I talked about like the feet touching, like the feet taps to me are very similar to like a thing. But then I was thinking like I should just do a thing about their feet because I forgot about Sockgate. I never made a long form video about socks, and like that I think is a really interesting detail that is only in the show. Because I looked up every instance of socks that were mentioned in the books, and it's mostly people telling Shane to take it off, to take socks off. And in the show, they don't take the socks off. Notably, the socks are on during their first two hookups. And Ilya leaves the socks on the second time. So, it's great. There's so much hand flexing. I mean, Shane's foot twitches in that scene in a way that's very similar to the hand flex. Oh God, I don't want break to be over. Okay, we got 20 more minutes of work and then 5 more minutes of chatting. Hope everybody has a good time. Need to put this box farther away from us. Halloween. Hi. I have not had a single sip of my coffee. Ugh, I don't want to do work. I've now said that twice on a thing where I'm purposely trying to help people do work. Doing great, everybody. We're crushing it. Oh my god. Ah. I'm not sure if everybody can hear this thumping noise, but that is just my upstairs neighbors. So I'm not under attack. I just have very noisy people living above me that seem to tenderize meat every night. I swear to God. have. Her. Oh yeah, that's a fun one. Do you need to eat? Okay. All right, it's food time. It can be food time. You deserve food time. Hi. You want beef liver on it? Is that fun? I think there's still some of that. Instead of minnows, we got a lot of minnows over there. just a different post. Break time. You made it. You did it. Congratulations on 20 more minutes of work. Yeah. So thankfully, I do know that it's not. If anybody didn't get to hear the thumping from upstairs, it's definitely not that. They have a whole family, and I like hear the kids running around. But I do think part of it is that the kids like might not know that they're grown up now. But I also think they like it's the upstairs neighbor classic of like, what are they doing up there? But I just find it funny, mostly funny. But I do think they are tenderizing meat a lot of times, and I do think they like build things. I don't know, I can't tell, but sometimes it's louder than others, and usually I ignore it. But I was like, oh right, I'm used to this. I've lived here for 6 years. Other people might be hearing it and having thoughts. So that's what the explanation is. Anyway, I hope everybody had a good work sesh. I don't want to do work, as I keep accidentally saying out loud to myself, but you know, when you do work anyway, even when you don't want to do work, it's pretty great. It's what productivity is. I think a lot of people think that productive people enjoy productivity, and that is one myth I had to break for myself of like, no. Okay, we were talking about the socks, right? that's what we were talking about before. Um, I think it is interesting to me. The socks of it all is fascinating because I do like I did do some research on this. I like figuring out what my take on a thing is before I go seek out other sources, just because like I like to see how my mind shifts and changes based on new information. And so when I was thinking about the socks, like somebody pointed out the socks, and I was like, oh, that's interesting because Shane's very deliberate in the other clothes he takes off. So leaving the socks on is like a choice in the first scene. Then Ilya leaves the socks on, and the second time they hook up, and it's like, okay, so Ilya intook that Shane left his socks on and is like doing that for him, which is very cute. I don't think we talk enough about the fact that Ilya rips Shane's pants off at the first time they hook up during All Stars, but that's a different thing. And then I looked it up, and it was like, yep, it was a deliberate choice by Hudson in terms of leaving socks on for like sensory purposes. It's funny because people kept being like, he leaves his socks on because he's autistic. I'm like, you have to finish that sentence. Like, because I'm autistic and I can't sleep with socks on. So like some autistic, like again, if you've met one autistic person, you've met one autistic person. So it's very much like, you're either an autistic, like you can be I've met autistic people who are also normal about socks. Like, not to say normal and autistic in the same sentence, but like, it's, you know, like I'm a socks off person, and I know that some autistic people are socks on, but that's why saying this is due to autism is like a weird phrasing for autistic people, because like we're not a monolith. It's literally part of the part of the reason it's so difficult to talk about is because it's an individualized experience. Yeah, it's a vulnerability thing. I think it's like because it's the same thing anytime I bring up showers and people are like, showering is because of the cleanliness issue of Shane. And it's like, that is true and it represents shame. Like, also, every time people bring up Shane hates being messy in terms of when I mention Ilya taking a shower, I'm like, so if Shane hates being messy, why aren't we seeing Shane take a shower? Do you see how that is also a gap there? Like, things can mean multiple things for multiple reasons. But yeah, with the socks, it's like, it's a vulnerability thing. It's a, like, I don't know. I don't, I wouldn't be surprised if it was an in joke for the, like, it's not gay if you keep your socks on. It's also a sensory issue. It's also just a sweet detail that, like, we get to see called back to. So that is also, like, that's what's satisfying about the acting choices, is that, like, because Hudson made the choice at some point that Shane would leave his socks on, they continued to do that. And then by the cottage, we see his bare feet. And I know people are like, he has gross bare feet. I just have, I don't know. Part of me is like, I don't want to get into like the hygiene Olympics that we deal with online. Yeah, exactly. And it's not even like two things being true. It's more like one thing in a story should represent more than just the literal interpretation of what's happening. Like, I think that this is where I've reached in terms of the media literacy crisis, is like, people can only react literally to things. And that is a problem. Like, the lack of creative thinking is also a lack of critical thinking. I don't want to do more work. I want to just keep talking about the lack of media literacy. But yeah, it's the thing is, like, it can mean anything, so it can mean everything, you know? But like, you got to be able to prove your point. And that's where it all comes together, because everybody can have a different thought. And it's not even about being right. It's just about being able to express why you have it. Okay, 20 more minutes. Let's do this and break. Ba-dum. Never say enough if it was not said to you. That's so fucking crazy. Dee 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 dee. Okay. Mm-mm-mm. Just hit my teeth with my mug. Okay. Okay. It's a fun challenge. I do talk out loud with myself a lot. This is the result of living alone for a while. I'm gonna plan my entire meetings workshop with just the meetings pack. Hell yeah. What a fun and novel experience for everyone. Did I spell intellectualize wrong? Is that the fucking problem? Yep. Wow, think piece is one word? Alright. Alright, Merriam-Webster. I believe you. Ooh, it's break time! We did it. We made it. Alright, think piece is 2 words. Who knew? I have started writing this. I realize you can't really see, I had the camera angle down a little bit more, but I have started writing the Substack. You could probably immediately tell in terms of how fast I started typing. That is how fast my brain works when I'm talking about hated rivalry. I'm talking about their hands touching. Yeah, talking to yourself it's honestly a great habit. Processing things out loud is a totally different thing than processing them internally. So I recommend people talk out loud. And people just get used to it. But also, yeah, living alone is a wonderful way to break that self-judgment. Okay, so I don't think Shane's feet, in terms of this, going back to what we were talking about last break, it's not that I find Shane's feet gross, but I can literally show you actually. Why am I trying to talk about this when I know I can find it? In when they're at the cottage and they're lying on the couch, you can see the bottom of Shane's feet, and a lot of people are like, they're not actually upset about it, but it's that thing in fandom where people like notice things and then all of a sudden everybody has to make the same observation a million times. You can kind of like, you literally can't even really see. Let me see. Sorry. We have to redo this fucking stand. I have an on desk like tripod and it rules and it sucks at the same time. You can kind of see there's like dirt on the bottom of his feet because he's barefoot and he's walking around. I don't know why people act like having dirt on your skin is like a moral like issue. It's not. Shane just has dirty feet, but his house is like clean. Like he's gonna take a shower at the end of the night. It's fine. He's about to have sex. Like there are other things happening with his body that like I don't know why people get so focused on like it's a little bit of dirt. It's fine. Sorry, sorry, hopefully no one gets vertigo. Okay. That's Shane's dirty feet that I'm not grossed out by, but that I get comments about all the time. Which is, it is what it is, but it's just funny to me. I agree that the U.S. education system does not focus on like ELA stuff. I grew up in Ireland like half of my life, so I had the experience of 2 very different educational systems, and I do think the Irish educational system is better. The thing that I think is the largest difference, and what I would always tell people, is that in Ireland they make you write in full sentences. I think a lot of Americans like genuinely struggle to create full sentences, and it's because they're taught to think in fragments. And so when Americans answer a question, like part of like media training stuff is repeating the question back in your answer, because Americans are so used to just, yeah, I don't think it's that bad. I didn't fucking notice it until it got pointed out. So I didn't think it was that bad. I think this is again one of those like, I think this has now been run with of like, this ruined this moment. And so like, it's easy to get caught up in the idea of it being terrible. I didn't think it was that offensive, so I personally didn't find it that bad. I think it's sad that you can see him mouth sweetheart and you can't hear it. I get why the names are a better choice in terms of freaking them out. The thing is, I don't know if they forgot, like, I don't believe that they forgot to say it or anything like that. I think it was a choice made, my guess is that it was a choice made in post. And they maybe were gonna go with the sweetheart thing on the day, because like you can see that Ilya mouths something close to it, if not exactly it. So it feels like a decision made of necessity, and honestly, like I'm not paying that close of attention to their mouths, and the sound mixing seemed fine to me. Like it didn't feel, I don't know, it didn't take me out of it. So that's just my opinion. I'm happy that other people have different ones. But I do get, yeah, I think it's one of those like, now that people have noticed it, I think it's really noticeable. But I think like if I don't know, my two big things are the use of the word arch rival because I think it's clunky, and Shane standing in the doorway when Ilya like pats the bed to have him come over at his house after they hook up at Ilya's house for the first time, because I'm just like, where was Shane going? Why is he why isn't he wearing anything on the bottom? Like, you're telling me even if he went to the bathroom, you're telling me he's just Winnie the Pooh, like just fully nude around the house? Okay. But I just think they could have like shaved literally frames off of that to make it better. Okay, one more 20-minute session, and then I might wrap up for the night because I have an early morning meeting tomorrow and I have to go to bed because I have not slept over 4 hours in like 3 weeks. If I took we have scenarios? We don't have scenarios. Okay. How much? How many words have I written? Nice. I really could do a whole thing on just their first meeting. And maybe I should. Do I have it? Do I have it? I do. Okay, great. What did I get? Okay. Oh, that's weird. Is that a mistake in this file? Huh. Just an odd choice. Yay, we did it. We made it to the end. And I started writing my blog. Okay. Okay. I hope that person had a great time on the walk. Hello. I do know John Mulaney very, very well. Glad that people explained this. Yeah. Okay. So I think I'm done with the work element tonight. So we can just hang out. The timer no longer means anything. I did start writing the Substack on their hands. And let's see. Let's see how much progress I made. It's at 700 words, and I've only mentioned 2 of the times their hands touch so far. Oops. I think this will be a big one. But I also think I've decided that I need to make a long form video just about the intro scene because it is one of my favorite scenes, but also there's so much to say about it. It sets up so many dynamics. But yeah, so I have to pull clips of the first episode again because the ones that I pulled have bad audio. Yeah. So that's what I'm gonna do. And I'm gonna ask, I think that it counts. Draft one is an interesting one to me because like I do think they are bumping hands. They're not holding hands, but like you can actually see where their hands are going. Is Shane smiling? Shane's smiling before they're told to, and then it's just when he has to do the numbers. It's great, but yeah, their hands are touching here, and it looks kind of purposeful. So, great job all. And then their hands don't touch for another little while. So, gonna scrub forward. But yeah, the hands. Gotta focus on one thing in order to extrapolate other things. I can't watch. Yeah, I think so too. I think he's trying to jostle him. I also love this scene so much where Shane decides to get up and go to the gym because he makes his bed, and I just think it's very sweet that he does that. It's such a good like character introduction. Like we're less than 5 minutes into episode 1 and we know so much about this guy. And of course their hands touch several times during this scene. Yay, competitive working out. There's also the foot twitch, but that's a different thing. If I want to do something about their feet, I think I have to do just a whole thing about their feet. What a fucking day, huh? Dee. Come on, pass over the water bottle. Anyway, hope everybody had fun working on whatever they were working on. If you were working on things. Why is my chat suddenly not working? Live chat. No! Ugh, sometimes this happens and I don't understand why. Jesus, the wink is so good. The whole thing's good, but like, Jesus Christ. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna go from the offering to the shake. The problem is like I want to keep these clips really short, but I also want to not do this a million times. Water bottle and over number 1. I mean, just like Jesus Christ. The entire scene from when he hands it back And then Ilya immediately also like sucks on it. Like it's not they're both like squeezing it into their mouths before, and then all of a sudden here comes fucking horny bisexual monster. Oh yeah, he's fully presenting himself. Like the way that he gets Shane to like look down, but also just like this wink. And I really enjoy Shane's response to it. I like want to. There's so many moments in the show that I'm just like, I need to slow it down. Like he winks, Shane responds. Like, yeah, I don't know. Anytime people get upset about what happens in the shower, or like say that Ilya like took a guess or whatever, it's like, no, he had plenty of evidence that Shane was into him. Like, you don't look like that at people who you're not into. And then, of course, I think it's still up for debate if Shane winks in this scene, because he at least does something, because Ilya reacts. He at least like blinks at him. It's just like it's not a wink, but there's something to it. This is the 7th time they've touched hands already. Also, I love that the show is like, you don't need to know anything about what they're doing in this year between getting drafted and playing at this cup again. God, I can't believe it's already 10 o'clock. I mean, it's not, but it's almost 10. Okay, they don't touch hands anywhere in here. Definitely don't touch hands here. Also don't touch hands here. I think that, oh God, it's gonna be during this stuff. Okay. We're gonna, we might have some debates about what counts as hand touching. Just pay attention to the hands. Can't see the hands. It is just so funny to me that they're ever going to act like this wasn't super serious for both of them, and like this is their first kiss. Like, it's just so sweet. It's so not what they think it is. All right. Still just, anyway, letting the scene play out, but we are just paying attention to the hands. D. Are there hands during this? Their hands are touching other things again. Not touching each other's hands, though. They have kissed at this point. Okay, great. Still no hand holding. Okay. Yeah, Shane kind of, it's funny because Shane says, do you want to talk? While he's grabbing his kind of like elbow area and also leaning back towards the wall. So it feels like that is almost a moment of Shane doing kind of what he's doing in the phone call scene, where it's like, no, stop, don't do that. Just let me sit in this position on this couch that would make it even easier for you to do the thing that you were doing or attempting to do that I said I didn't want you to. Oh no. It feels like, do you want to talk while you're like grabbing someone's arm and leading them back towards pushing you up against a wall? It's like, it's a bit of a mixed signal there, which I just find funny. Yeah, still no hands. Yep. Yeah, that's the important part of their dynamic, is that it's basically all happening at Shane's direction, and it's just you're made to think that Ilya is the one in control when Ilya is really just controlling the situations that Shane is asking him to set up. It's really good. I keep getting comments that like on on even old videos where people are saying like, I don't love the phrase like, why is no one talking about this? And I know that a lot of times people are leaving comments with that in it to try to get me to talk about it. But if it's something that I have already talked about, I'm like, well, like now I just want to respond to you with like, I have, even though I know that like, I could remake the videos that I've already made for the rest of the year, and that would be enough. But because not everybody's seen them, and I don't expect them to see them. But I saw somebody today saying like, nobody talks about the dom sub dynamics in Shane and Ilya's relationship, and I was like, what are you talking about? There's literally entire watch-alongs dedicated to it. Like, it is a dynamic I very much enjoy. It is a dynamic I don't particularly want to discuss because I got a bunch of comments that really upset me anytime I do. I have not read that, but I hope other people have who can appreciate your analysis. Because I am sure you're right, but I don't know. It's like, I don't know. It's interesting because dom sub is a very specific set of kinks. I think a lot of people who aren't familiar with kink and with like people who enjoy the dynamics and like utilize them within like their relationships and whatever, they seem to think it's abusive. No, I have not watched Arcane. And that bums me out. Like I can't talk, I don't want to talk about it on my like videos because I get comments about it that really bum me out from people who are like, it's abusive. And I'm like, it's literally not. Like there is a fundamental misunderstanding we're having here of what abuse is. Also, I don't know that I can actually pull these clips without this getting flagged for indecency. But I know that we can at least watch Ilya smile as Shane takes his clothes off and folds them, because it's my favorite Ilya smile. And then I should honestly probably go because it's already 10 o'clock and I have to eat dinner. Oops. Didn't mean to leave it that late, but didn't eat before the live stream. So thank you all so much for being here. I hope everybody had a good time. I hope everybody got a lot of work done. I'll continue to do more of these, and I'll try to be better about announcing them before they happen. But I have to be up at like 6 a.m. tomorrow for a work meeting, so I gotta go. But I hope everybody has a great night. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, talk to you soon.